How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Opendoor Technologies. It has been experiencing quite the pullback inside of the market, just like many other small and mid cap stocks. So I want to make sure I come out with an update video for you guys, so I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. I want to make sure you're prepared. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Opendoor Technologies. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $11.36, being down 3.73%. On the low, it tested $10.99, and then on the high, testing $12.01. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 24.481 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 10.431 million shares. So you could see right away we ended up having above average volume, but we still saw a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is well beaten up, being right around 28.33. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 100-day, the 200-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So what you can clearly notice, Open is in a bear market, just like many other small and mid-cap stocks. But one thing to keep in mind, as far as for the low of the day, it tested right at $10.99. And what we're talking about here, back into SPAC range prices. So what I'd want to see from Open as far as a recovery is concerned, we want to see it at least come back to get above $12. It ended up seeing $12.01 in regards to resistance on the day, but of course we need some more momentum, because even reaching up to 12, we'd want to see it get up to at least $14, and then we could say, okay, things are looking good and it looks to be making a reversal. But from the way that it's looking right now, if we continue to have sell-offs happening in the market, then we could easily see Open get back into the $10 range, and even, don't be surprised now, seeing around the $10.80 range or even lower than that. And this is where I'm going to be adding even more to my position. So that's one of the reasons why you want to have high conviction if you're going to be taking advantage of the dips on Open. So as far as for trading opportunities are concerned, again, I only see it on the short or on the put side. As far as going in with calls, you're going to want to wait for it to form a base of strong support, and then you could be able to make some money on the upside from there. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Open. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we can see here for January, we have Valeo Financial Advisors that purchased 14,205 shares, and also again going in with 1,600 shares in regards to calls. And now when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 32.76%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is at 3.24 million shares, just over that. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 27 minutes ago, and then for the short ball free rate, it is at 0.34%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of January the 6th, it was at 43.38, and then for the close of the 7th, it was at 32.76. So that is a dramatic difference right there, and I wouldn't be surprised when Open broke through $11. We had some shorts that were closing off their positions. So one thing that we have to understand, it still continues to have short squeeze potential because it is around 32.76, and we tend to look for 21% or higher. So this is why the volatility will continue, and you want to have a game plan if you're going to be playing this stock. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for open. So we could see here on the inflow, it was at 37.75. And then for the outflow, it was at 44.72. So it was an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 2.22. On the medium, it was 17.02. And then on the small, it was 18.51. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 5.47. On the medium, it was 18.94. And then on the small, it was 20.31. And keep in mind, these numbers are in the millions. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for Friday that just passed, we ended up having that negative outflow of 3,252.68, and 2 trading days prior to that it was at 0. And then also for the other days, for January the 3rd and the 4th, there were also outflow days. When we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which potentially could be representing institutions, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was right around 4.00%. So yes, this is up there. We're seeing a lot of selling pressure in this stock. We saw it go down to $10.99. That is crazy. We're talking about SPAC prices here. So these are part of the reasons why when you see this type of selling pressure and you have high conviction, you add to your position. I know many people did that inside of the Discord, and if it does decide to dip even more, I'll talk about inside of the final thoughts, and let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for Opendoor Technologies, the dip that we had on Friday, I must say it was amazing. I did not end up buying it. Some people in the Discord did, but I'm going to be waiting for an even bigger dip. And I know what you're saying, Dre, if you're vested in the stock, you believe in the long-term potential, why do you want the stock to go down more? So I can get some more shares at a cheaper price so I can ride the run up further. I'm willing to hold on to this position. You also have to understand it is a growth stock. So there's going to be a lot of volatility, and this is why you need to have high conviction, and that's what I have. If you are inside of this play and you don't have high conviction and you haven't done your homework, then you probably shouldn't be in the play whatsoever. You want to make sure it's in an area of your expertise, an industry that you're actually interested in. Also keep in mind, this play is connected to the real estate market. So if we end up seeing a pullback, of course we'll end up seeing a pullback in open. So this is why I'm saying you do not have to be in a rush or have FOMO when it comes to this play. It's going to come down to attractive prices. I did purchase some shares. I think my average cost is just under 14 bucks. And if this stock decides, hey, I want to go down to $10, $9 or so on, I'm going to add even more. And if it goes down even lower, I'm going to continue to buy more. I feel there's a solid business behind this company, and I can't wait to see what they do in the long term. So as far as for a bullish reversal is concerned, you're going to want to see Opendoor at least climb its way back up, going to $14, and then again riding it up, seeing where it could go from there. And if you are thinking about taking a position in regards to swing trading purposes, you want to make sure this stock finds a base. Yes, it got down to $10.99. We had buyers that stepped in right away, and then we had a strong bounce. But again, if we have more volatility inside of the markets, it could easily break through that $10.99 that it tested on the Friday. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. We also do see there is interest on the institutional side as well. So this is why I'm saying, as far as for all the volatility that you see, you could definitely take advantage of some opportunities if you are a trader, whether you want to play this thing on the long side or whether you're going to be playing it on the short side. So again, if you're going to be purchasing shares of Opendoor, you have to be prepared for the volatility that comes with it. It is a growth stock at the end of the day, but one thing that is very clear, there is a solid business behind it. They have many goals that they were able to achieve, and it's part of the reasons why I invested in them. And plus, on top of that, I just love the concept of iBuying and so forth, and I do feel that they are a leader in that space, and they will be for years to come. And this is why when it comes to interest rate increases that we're going to be seeing for year 2022 and the impact it could possibly have on the housing market, it really doesn't matter to me, because I know at the end of the day, I'm going to continue to buy shares, especially if they're cheap. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.